High Commander Zharkoth stood frozen before the holographic display, his three hearts pounding in discordant rhythm. The battle data streaming across the crystalline screen defied everything the Valdorian Empire had learned about warfare in their 10,000 years of galactic dominance. "Repeat that," he rasped, his translator struggling to mask the tremor in his voice. Junior Intelligence Officer Mirasol swallowed hard, her chromatic skin shifting to pale blue, the color of fear among her people. "High Commander, our intelligence division has confirmed it. The human force we engaged at the Kepler Nexus, it represented only 0.3% of their total military capacity." The command center fell silent. 200 of the Empire's finest officers stopped their work, every eye turning toward the conversation unfolding at the central platform. "Impossible," Zharkoth whispered. "We deployed the 7th, 9th, and 13th fleets. Over 4,000 warships. The humans brought barely 200 vessels and still fought us to a standstill." "That's just it, sir," Mirasol continued, her voice barely audible. "What we thought was a standstill. They were holding back. The engagement lasted 14 hours because they were analyzing our tactics, learning our patterns. The moment they understood our strategy, they withdrew, not because they were losing, but because they had gathered sufficient data." Zharkoth's clawed hand gripped the edge of the console. 6 months ago, the Valdorian Empire had issued its standard ultimatum to the humans: submit to imperial rule or face annihilation. Humanity's response had been curious, neither immediate submission nor the desperate military buildup that typically preceded a species' futile resistance. Instead, they had simply replied, "We respectfully decline." Then came the Kepler Nexus. The Valdorians had expected a massacre, a demonstration that would break humanity's spirit. Instead, they encountered something unprecedented. "Show me their full military deployment," Zharkoth commanded. The holographic display shifted, and the command center collectively gasped. The data painted an impossible picture. Where 200 human ships had appeared at Kepler, the intelligence scans now revealed an armada of over 70,000 vessels scattered across human-controlled space. And that was just their space navy. "Their ground forces," Mirasol continued, her voice steadying as she fell into the familiar rhythm of intelligence briefing, "number approximately 8 billion active military personnel, with reserve forces exceeding 2 billion more. For context, that's more soldiers than the total population of 67 member species in our empire." "How?" Strategic Advisor Quilren stepped forward, his reptilian features contorted in confusion. "Their civilization spans only 400 solar cycles. They've achieved interstellar travel in less time than it takes most species to develop basic metallurgy. Where did they find the resources?" Mirasol pulled up another data stream. "They don't have a single military, sir. They have hundreds. Each of their nation-states maintains independent armed forces. Even in their united space force, there's redundancy built upon redundancy. And their industrial capacity." She paused, checking the numbers again as if unable to believe them herself. "They can manufacture a capital-class warship in 17 days. 17 days? Zharkoth felt his legs weaken. The Empire's finest shipyards required 4 months for the same task. "They're a warrior species, High Commander," Mirasol said quietly, "but not in the way we understood. Their entire evolutionary history has been one of continuous conflict, not just with other species, but with themselves. They've spent 10,000 years perfecting the art of warfare against opponents who think like them, who adapt like them, who are just as creative and desperate and innovative as they are." The holographic display shifted again, showing a historical compilation. Humanity's wars flashed across the screen, conflicts spanning millennia, each one a laboratory of tactical innovation. Sword to gunpowder, cavalry to tanks, propeller planes to hypersonic missiles. Each generation had inherited the lessons of the last and built upon them. "They have a saying," Mirasol added, pulling up a translated human text. "If you want peace, prepare for war." Their entire civilization is structured around this principle. Their entertainment, their literature, their philosophy, it's all steeped in martial culture. Zharkoth stared at the numbers, his mind racing through scenarios. "What are our projections if we commit to full-scale war?" The silence that followed was answer enough. Finally, Supreme Strategic AI Architect Ventho spoke, his synthetic voice devoid of emotion. "Based on current analysis, the Empire's victory probability in sustained conflict with humanity stands at 4.7%. This assumes we commit every fleet, every legion, every resource. Projected Imperial casualties, 78-94% of all military forces. Projected timeline to human defeat. Inconclusive, as their industrial capacity would allow them to replace losses faster than we could inflict them. And if they ally with other resistant species? Quilrin asked, though he seemed afraid of the answer. Then the Empire falls within 2 solar cycles, Vento replied. Humanity would not need to defeat us directly. They need only demonstrate that we can be resisted. The political cascade would be unstoppable. Zarkoth closed his eyes. 10,000 years of imperial dominance, and it had taken a species barely out of its cradle to reveal the fundamental weakness in their doctrine. They had never faced an opponent who treated war as both art and science, who had spent their entire existence preparing for threats both external and internal. Open a priority channel to the Imperial Core, Zarkoth said finally. Inform the Council that our ultimatum to humanity is hereby withdrawn. We will be proposing a non-aggression pact. Sir? Mirasol looked shocked. The Council will see this as weakness. The Council hasn't seen these numbers, Zarkoth interrupted. When they do, they'll understand. We didn't just miscalculate humanity's strength. We miscalculated what strength means. He gestured to the holographic display where 70,000 human warships orbited their worlds in patient vigil. That 0.3% they sent to Kepler? That wasn't a defense force. That was a greeting, a handshake. A gentle reminder that they could end us if they chose to. He turned to face his assembled officers. Humanity didn't show us their full army because they didn't need to. They showed us just enough to make us ask the question we're asking now. What else are they hiding? In the depths of space, the human fleet maintained its positions, neither advancing nor retreating, waiting, watching. And on a small blue world called Earth, 8 billion soldiers continued their daily routines, unaware that their mere existence had just rewritten the balance of galactic power. The Valdorian Empire had learned an ancient human truth. Sometimes, the strongest weapon is the one you never have to fire.